Their club became the richest in the world. But these fans are worried at what it means for Newcastle's soul following the club's controversial takeover by the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund. The mood of the northern English city has been nothing but celebratory, and the atmosphere at that particular match was close to delirious. The black and white colors of the club could be seen in every stand, on shirts and adorning flags, while a giant banner was held up to spell out some of the words from a famous song about the River Tyne that Newcastle proudly sits upon. Yet amidst the feverish celebrations that took place at St. James Park that day, there was one discordant note. A van drove a "Justice for Jamal Khashoggi" poster around the stadium, a reference to the actual killing of a Saudi journalist and dissident that took place in 2018. US intelligence has since concluded that the Crown Prince himself approved the operation that ended in the killing of the journalist. In response to the conclusion drawn by US intelligence, the Saudi Foreign Ministry released a statement saying the country completely rejects the negative, false and unacceptable assessment in the report pertaining to the kingdom's leadership, and notes that the report contained inaccurate information and conclusions. It also added that Khashoggi's killing was an abhorrent crime and a flagrant violation of the kingdom's laws and values. Before the takeover, Amnesty International UK urged the Premier League to reconsider the decision and, since then, it has demanded that the league changes its owners and directors test to address human rights issues. Amnesty International Chief Executive Sasha Deshmukh said, "Instead of allowing those implicated in serious human rights violations to walk into English football simply because they have deep pockets, we've urged the Premier League to change their owners and directors test to address human rights issues." And while the Premier League has said it has received legally binding assurances that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia will not control Newcastle United, there is no denying that the nation's crown prince oversees the PIF. In a press release issued when the takeover was first announced, Yasser Al-Rumayyan, governor of the PIF, said, "We are extremely proud to become the new owners of Newcastle United, one of the most famous clubs in English football. We thank the Newcastle fans for their tremendously loyal support over the years, and we are excited to work together with them." When the news was officially announced, Hadisee Sengiz, the fiancée of the late Khashoggi, took to Twitter to call the takeover a shame and embarrassment for Newcastle United and said that she hoped the fans and players would hold their owners to account. In the press release issued with the announcement of the deal, Amanda Staveley, CEO of PCP Capital Partners, said, "This is a long-term investment. We are excited about the future prospects for Newcastle United. We intend to instill a united philosophy across the club, establish a clear purpose, and help provide leadership that will allow Newcastle United to go on to big achievements over the long term." Since the announcement of the takeover, the Premier League has agreed to meet with Amnesty for talks on revising the owners and directors test currently applied to any individual named as having a key role in controlling a club in the league. Short-lived joy. She says that while she first felt excited at the prospect of a new direction for the club, that delight soon dissipated when she considered the fact Newcastle would now be tied with the Saudi regime. Read, Newcastle United urges fans to not wear mock Arab head coverings. How have we reached the point where our only choice for owners lies between Mike Ashley, whose company Sports Direct has been accused of abusing workers' rights, and an all-powerful entity who are facing numerous allegations of sanctioning human rights abuses? When those accusations of abuses of workers' rights were made in 2016, Ashley told British lawmakers he was unaware of such practices but admitted his company had broken the law by failing to pay the national minimum wage to his employees. "Everyone wants their club to succeed," added Holbrook. "Everyone wants their club to win the biggest prizes in football. But no one wants to question the morality of how they got there." With the PIF acquisition and an injection of wealth into the club, Newcastle appears to be on the cusp of a golden age, but Holbrook wants fellow fans to be aware of the potential cost any future success could come with. "And I don't want Newcastle to become just a tool for a regime in need of a PR refresh. It's a change of culture. It's a change of behavior, he said. We'd be lying to ourselves and fooling ourselves if from one year to the next you can make those changes and think that everything's going to be solved. On a personal level, Holbrook feels particular discomfort at the thought of her beloved club now being so closely involved with a homophobic regime. In Saudi Arabia, homosexuality is illegal under the applied Sharia law, and punishments handed out for same-sex acts and intimacy include whippings, imprisonment and, in some cases, the death penalty. While Holbrook said she appreciates the fact that Newcastle fans themselves aren't responsible for making such close connections with the Saudi regime, she believes that supporters still have a duty to hold their new owners accountable for human rights abuses. If we're going to be so dedicated to the club on the pitch, then we need to use that same communal energy when it comes to off-pitch concerns too. Turning to grassroots football, Gateshead FC is a club based in the northern English town of Gateshead, which is joined to Newcastle by one of the bridges that runs over the Tyne. In contrast, a ticket to watch Newcastle often costs about £40, and the price of those tickets is expected to skyrocket should the club reach dizzying heights of success in the coming years thanks to its lucrative takeover. Rowan Lees is a Newcastle fan who's found himself attending more Gateshead matches than those of his own clubs in recent times. When I heard about the takeover, one of the first things I thought was about just how much it would affect ticket prices. I asked myself, could I be locked out of the club I support because I won't be able to afford to go and see them play? Lees questions what it might mean for the city he lives in if fans end up priced out of attending their club's matches every weekend. What happens when an institution of the city no longer serves the people of the city itself? When fans of the city's historic club can't afford to support the team in person? In an ironic way, I actually think that the takeover of Newcastle by extraordinarily wealthy backers will turn some fans towards grassroots football.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe,